A question I get very often is what machine is better, or which machine is better than the other? And in today we are going to try and fix or solve this problem with stroke adjustable machines. Hey, what's up everybody? This is Tattoobart and welcome to the channel. In today's episode we are going to compare probably my top 5 favorite machines that are stroke adjustable, and we're going to answer some of your questions, whether a machine is better for a specific style or better than another machine that you might want to use, so you can figure out which machine would work best for you. Now, since I have already reviewed all of these machines, we are not going to test them one by one, but I will link all the videos to these machines individually in the description down below, so you can have a look at them to be a little bit more specific about a certain machine. Now, since I have tested so many of these machines and I love pretty much all of them, it is pretty hard to figure out my top 5, but let's have a look at the machines that I've selected for this video. So we have the Dragon Hawk Year of the Horse, we have the Cnc E80, we got the Easy P3 Pro. You can either use the touch, this is the regular one, I'm just using this one because I ran out of the battery for the touch one, but it's pretty much the same machine. We have the Inkin Inferno and we got the Mast 2 Pro, or Mast Fold 2 Pro. This is the Dragon Hawk Year of the Horse. Pretty cool buttons right here on the side. Yeah, that's probably one of the very few things that I absolutely love about this machine. It does run cool. You have the ability to have a couple of memory slots, which is very nice. We can also enter a dot mode, which is a pretty cool feature. Not a feature I generally use. And it's stroke adjustable. It goes from 4.5 all the way down to 2.5. Now, if you listen up really close, I'm gonna go up to about 6 volts. And I hope you can hear the sound, because this machine seems to be running really fast and I feel like it doesn't have a lot of power, but it just runs really fast. And if we go to the Mast 2 Pro, which is basically an older version than the Year of the Horse. By the way, I have the same battery. I'm running the same battery as the Year of the Horse edition, and it's on 7 volts as well, and just listen to the sound. Do you hear the difference in frequency? Now I'm gonna run the Year of the Horse again. Super high frequency, seems to be running pretty fast compared to this. So that's something you can consider whenever you are buying a machine. Do you want a very fast running machine? Yeah, with a little bit less power, then this is probably the one you're looking for. Also, the adjustments on this machine are really not really clicky. They kind of click into place. And now let's take the older version again. It really snaps into place. That's something I always look for. Other than that, the frequency is really, or the vibration is really not that bad. It barely vibrates. It is a very comfortable machine to work with, but it's just a couple of minor things that are just, yeah, not really working in my favorite. That's why I probably put this one on number 5 in this list. Next up is the Easy P3 Pro. Very cool machine. I really love the way this is built. This is still a version that goes only up to about 4.2. I have the regular battery on, which is pretty straightforward. Doesn't have a whole lot of battery left, but yeah, it just runs really cool. I love that you can see the frequency and the voltage at the same time. 7 volts, runs nice, steady, slow, and it is just built in a way where it's just very well made. Very comfortable. I like the grip and the way the weight is balanced. Now I do have to say, if we compare this one to the P3 Pro Touch, the battery is a lot longer and I don't think it is as nicely balanced as this one. But yeah, this one, I don't know, it feels so comfortable to hold this one. It's built very solid. It doesn't look so plasticky like, for example, the Year of the Horse, where this one is actually made very solid. Everything is aluminum or steel, or at least a robust way. Stroke adjustments are nice and clicky and stiff, and when they are in their stroke, you can just adjust the grip without everything moving around, which I think it is very important, and they really did a good job on doing this. Yeah, just overall built very well, especially if you're looking for a stroke adjustable machine. You cannot really go bad on choosing this machine as well. One of the more recent models that came out, or actually pretty much the most recent one that came out, is the Cnc E80. Very cool, also with the 4.5mm stroke, goes up pretty high, has a lot of power in that way. I actually like to use this one a bit more around the 4.2 and the 3.9, but that's all personal preference. I love these buttons. They are made from metal or aluminum, not the soft rubbery things that might pop out after a couple of years. So they really put some thought into this machine, and yeah, it just runs really solid. Even at a 7, I think I did a lot of lining around the 7 or 7.5 folds, and just really comfortable. It's super quiet. You can barely hear it. And it's also one of those machines that just made in a good way. Now I do have to say, the stroke is a little bit more loose, so you have to be a little bit more careful. But yeah, very comfortable. I also like the strokes 4.5, 4.2, 3.9, and then you can do some really good soft shading at the 2.4. And I think this one goes down to 5.0, and it runs really slow. So it's also good if you want to do that stippling sort of effect, especially with a higher stroke. Now we are going to the Mastfold 2 Pro, which is super cool, and it is actually built very well, and that is something that is not a very good development that I am seeing in Dragonhawk. With this machine is the Dragonhawk Fold is probably one of the most popular machine. The Fold Pro, the Fold 2 Pro, the Fold Year of the whatever. But it seems like the quality of the machines are getting a little bit lower. Like if I'm having a look at this machine, it looks like, you know, it looks more professional in my opinion. And then if I hold it next to the Year of the Snake or Year of the Horse, I don't know, it feels different. It is not built in a way that I generally like to see in a tattoo machine. This machine is just made robust. This is a nice clicky, snapping into place sort of stroke. The grip looks nice, no fancy weird pattern on it. Yeah, and it generally just looks better overall. Now this is not the original battery from the Fold 2, but I put the battery on from the Fold Year of the Horse because I do really like the battery. Other than that, the vibration, even though this machine is a couple of years older than the other ones, it doesn't vibrate at all. It is very comfortable and very nicely balanced. Another one I probably haven't really talked about enough on my channel. This is the Inkin Inferno, and I didn't really get to use this machine as much as I wanted because I only have one battery, but this machine is just built in a way that is so much better than all the other machines that I have seen for a long time. This stroke snaps into place. It doesn't make any sound. You don't hear it grinding over anything. It just snaps into place, and I can adjust my grip as fast as I can, and the stroke is just not going anywhere. I also love, and this is maybe a weird thing for me, but things are going in half steps. So where on Just pick a random machine. On my year of the horse, it's 4.5, 4.1, 3.8, 3.5, 3.2. It's a bit weird. And usually like strokes go from 4, 3.5, 3. That's what you also see on, for example, a bishop wand or on other machines. Now I know like for some machines it is a little bit more fine-tuned, but I like this 4.5, 4.0, and you really notice the difference 3.5 between every single step. And this could be good for your lining and your packing and your shading, and if you want to do really soft shading you could go down. Also, they had a couple of different grips. Now I like a bulky grip on my machine, and also I don't know, this thing is just made super rock solid. A very nice looking machine. One thing I could have probably wished they changed is the buttons, because these are the rubber buttons that sometimes tend to break whenever you use them for a long time. But yeah, this machine pretty much runs like a very professional machine. It goes down to 4.0, super slow, very good for stippling, especially on a bit of a higher stroke. And yeah, it is a very powerful motor that's running inside this machine. And yeah, just a super well made machine to work with. Now, of course, all of these machines are a good machine, but they are just a little bit better for certain things. So let's quickly go back up top and talk about these machines just a little bit more. So I hope I could give you a little bit of pointers on these machines, and this is actually a video that is pretty hard to make because simply the perfect machine doesn't exist. We are human, we're not all the same, thankfully. So we all prefer different things in a machine, and I hope I could point this out in this video. So just a quick recap on some of the machines. Like I mentioned in a previous video, is the Mast Fold 2 Pro is a little bit of a slower running machine, but also very powerful. I feel like if you do a lot of fine lines or fine line kind of tattoos, some soft shading, this machine would probably benefit you more than the original Fold Pro and even the Dragon Hawk Pro Year of the Horse. This one runs a lot faster. It might be a really good liner, but a bit more bold liner. If you use like 3s or even 1s or 5s, this might be a bit too strong. Even though at a shorter stroke, you might get a little bit more like blowouts and things like that. You have to be a bit more careful. You tear the skin up. This one might be a bit better and it's a lot more consistent. So that's something you could consider. The ECP3 Pro is not only just super comfortable, it is a decent liner. It's a bit slow for me to really get some really good bold lining in, but like everything up to like a 9-round liner works super comfortable. And yeah, just, I don't know, this thing is just built in a certain way where I'm like, wow, it looks good, it feels good, and just super good all-around machine. Very good shader. I do remember that when I was testing this machine. This is a very good shading machine as well. Now my most recent, the more powerhouse Cnc E80, good with bold lining, not as strong as the Chronos. That's also one of the machines I was really debating which one I should put in this video, because I do really love the Chronos. They are very similar. If you look to buy a machine from Cnc with a stroke adjustable system, this one is a bit more all-round, nice for shading, runs a bit slower I believe. If you're looking for something that has a lot more power than this one, you might want to go with the Chronos. It is a very heavy machine. It is also a bit heavier. It's very good with bold lining, a little bit less favorite for me for like shading and things like that because it is too powerful in my opinion. Now probably the most underrated machine, the Inkin Inferno, built so well, just perfectly built. One thing I would probably change is the battery. This is so bulky and big on the top. I mean, if they put like a battery like the P3 Pro, the original P3 Pro, that would have been so much better on this one. I mean, it's still such a nice machine to work with, built into perfection. I feel like they put a lot of thought into this machine. And this has nothing to do with sponsorship or whatever, but just built in a way that I think it's really comfortable to work with. I think in the box it also comes with a different grip because this one is a little bit bigger. They also have a straight grip, which does make it look probably a little bit better, but I always like a bulky grip. Also, this machine is just very all-round, very good punchy lines, very good shading, very good color packing. Just everything is built in a certain way where it's, yeah, damn near perfect pretty much, at least in my experience. So yeah, this is probably my favorite that I haven't really been using as much as I probably should. So I know this was probably a lot of information to take in. Now, if you had like a couple of these machines that you like the most, I will link all the individual reviews in the description down below so you could have a look at them. Now, if you enjoy this type of content where I compare a couple of machines to each other, or like in this one, I make a top 5, make sure to let me know in the description down below so I can make more videos for you like this. Also, if you have any pointers on machines that I should probably use for the next video, make sure to drop those in the comments as well. With that being said, I just wish you all a wonderful day and hopefully see you in the next video.